if you're planning on leaving your country in 2023 and that the United Kingdom is your destination country, then you should watch this video because there has been some changes, and this is what this video is going to be about. Stay tuned, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is James, and today in this video we're going to be talking about different changes that has happened, with the UK government in relation to, migration and all of that. If you know that the UK government is, is a government that they constantly change their policy. But to be honest, we've been seeing positive changes to the policies like from time to time. And I'm just going to be talking about different changes and, different routes that has opened in this 2023. Okay, and if you see me looking down my phone, it's just because I've jotted down some points on my phone so that I don't forget anything. All right, so now the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is about, teachers moving into the UK. A lot of people have asked me about this, the updates in regards to this, and I currently know someone going through this process, and I also know some people that have moved into the UK and they teach, and I've been trying to get them on the channel, but everybody's busy, right? So before I do that, before I'm able to bring them on the channel, I'll just touch a bit on what you need to do in regards to if you're a teacher and you want to move to the United Kingdom. Okay, so from the 1st of February 2023, this is no news anymore because it's all out there. So some countries were listed that they'll be able to move into the United Kingdom and teach, and Nigeria, which is my own country, and I think Ghana and some other 7 countries where are on the list, right? So if you're wondering, oh, I'm a teacher, what do I need to do, this and that, every information that you need is on the gov.uk, but I must say that it's quite a lot of information, but I've jotted down some important points, and I'm going to also put the link for you guys in the description box so that you guys can have a look for yourself. So if you're wondering, I'm a teacher, what do I need to do? So I'm going to liken you coming into the UK as a teacher to you getting a skilled worker visa, right? So what you would need to do is apparently look for a job that can sponsor you. Then once you get that job, you apply for your visa and then you can move to the UK. But it's not just like that, because there are some other things that you need to do, because teaching is quite sensitive and they need to be sure that yes, you can do this, you can actually teach, right? So what do you need to do? The first thing that you will need to do is to get your QTS, and I think QTS is qualified teacher standard. I'm not entirely sure if that S is for standard, but I'll put it on the screen if I'm not correct, right? And this is a legal requirement, although it's not a legal requirement for all schools. So what that means is that you can still get a job in the UK without QTS, but if you've been in the UK for 4 years teaching, you would now need your QTS. But what the QTS does for you is it increases your chance, your chances of getting a job in the UK. So it's just better for you to just get that QTS. And, in the long run, you still need to get it. So why not just do it once and forget about it, right? So what would you need? Like I said, not all schools, require QTS, right? And I'm going to be putting screenshots as well on the screen for you guys to see, as well as the description, the link in the description box, right? So like I said, it's a legal requirement for some schools, not all schools, right? So if you have gotten a job in a private school in the United Kingdom, you might not necessarily need QTS before you can come. But if it's going to be like a maintained school, and when they say maintained school, it's more like schools that is controlled by the not government entirely, like local authority, like public schools. Those are the schools that before you get a job, you need to have a QTS, right? So it depends on where you get your job. But like I said, the QTS increases your chances of getting a job as a teacher. So it's just better for you to get that QTS, right? And what are the subjects that can be taught? So it's not all schools, it's not all subjects that can be taught in, that they are looking for basically. And some of the subjects are math, science, biology, chemistry, physics, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Latin, Mandarin, Russian, and Spain. So they are looking for teachers in this in this aspect. So if you teach any of these subjects, then you know that you stand a very good chance, right? Now what are now the next thing that you need to do? So if you're from Nigeria, on the government website, like I said, I'll put the link, how to apply for QTS. But basically what I did was go through. So there's a way you can check if you would be able to apply for QTS or not. So I went through this process, and it would ask you different kind of questions, like how long have you been teaching, are you a university graduate, what subject, do you teach any of this subject that I just listed, sorry, excuse me, do you teach any of this subject that I just listed? There are different kind of questions that I would ask, and it will let you know if you qualify to apply for QTS or not. Now for Nigeria, you will need to apply to the TRCN. I'll put the full meaning for that on the screen, like I said. And with the TRCN, it's basically applying to the Nigerian government, to the body that regulates the teachers in Nigeria, and this costs 60,000 naira. Okay, so like I said, I have a friend that is currently going through this process, and he has applied for his QTS. So when you apply for your QTS, you then apply to get your confirmation from the TRCN, and they have to send that within 90 days that you've applied for your QTS. If they don't send it within that 19 days, then you need to restart your application. Okay, and I'll put on the screen the email that my friend got when he applied for. So TRCN is Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. So when he applied, the email that I got, I'll put it on the screen for you guys to see. But in that email, it says that you would need to provide the following: photocopy of your TRCN certificate, photocopies of your credentials, letter from your education agency with your applicant number, and then you need to pay a sum of 60,000 naira. This 60,000 naira is the standard because it's also on the government website. Okay, so this is what you need to do. And my friend is also saying to me that you would need to even if they didn't list it in this requirement, you would also need to provide your license. I think your teaching license. Okay, so these are the things that you need to put together for Nigeria, for them to verify that you actually teach, right? So once you get this, once you have your QTS, then you can now start to look for a job. And like I said, this gov.uk website is a very rich website, right? So you can also look for job there, and once you get your job, you can then apply, and before you know, you're on your way to the UK to come and teach. And I think there's an age range. You have to be able to teach within 11 to 16 as well. So that's just me rounding up everything that has to do with you coming to the UK as a teacher to teach. And like I said, hopefully very soon I'll be able to get someone so that they would speak more practically instead of theoretically that I just did. Okay, so that's one of the major updates out there. Now the second update that I want to talk about, that sorry, excuse me, I don't know why I keep belching. But yeah, the second update that I want to talk about is that for healthcare workers, right? So there's a major update that if you work in healthcare, before there was a restriction of, so not just healthcare workers, if you're on skilled worker job, you can only take on additional work outside of your contracted hours. So outside of the hours on your employment, what's that thing called again? You know what I mean. Outside of the hours on your employment letter, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. You can do extra 20 hours, right? But now for healthcare workers, they've now lifted a ban, just for a short period of time. And you cannot do as many hours as you want. And alternatively, you can now also take job outside of the healthcare job. So it doesn't have to be an healthcare job. But if you're going to be doing a job that is not healthcare related, you're going to have to restrict that to 20 hours. But if the job that you're doing is healthcare related, then you can work additional unlimited hours. And to be honest, in this cost of living crisis, because cost of living want to kill the living like this. So in this cost of living crisis, it's a good thing, but then try to strike a balance. All work cannot play. makes Jack a dull boy. But you knowing that I think it's going to stop on the 27th or 29th of August 2023. So from now till August, you have that liberty to work as many hours as you want. Okay, so that's my second major update. Now the third update I want to talk about is now the UK government is requesting for employers, so people that have been employing people, they want to know the jobs that people are getting out there, because they want to do some changes to the shortage employment list. So they are requesting for employers to let them know, what kind of jobs are people getting, should they increase the salary band, should they reduce it, should they add new jobs to the employment list, should they remove some. So basically they've given them up until May for employers to feedback to them. And what this means is that we might be seeing some changes to the shortage employment list. And if you are someone that wants to move into the UK as a skilled as a skilled worker, and you are wondering, oh, my employment is not on the shortage employment list, you might be lucky, it might be added. We don't know what is going to be added, but yeah, there's definitely going to be changes, because they've requested for employers to feed them with information of the kind of employment that they are giving. So I think that's a good news, even if some might be removed, but hopefully we see that some other employments are added, and this will just make things even better for people. Okay, now the fourth update, or yeah, I think it's the fourth update, right, would be that from March 2023, so this is March already, from the end of March, Tech Nation is going to be leaving. Now this is important for people that you might have been planning that you want to move into the UK through the global talent route. And then this global Tech Nation is the endorsing body for the global talent visa, right? So they are leaving, and the reason why they are leaving is because their grants that they use has been pulled, right? And that's the reason why they will be leaving. But we don't have information on who's going to be taking over, because I don't want to believe that global talent visa will just go like that. So I want to believe there will be like another endorsing body, but for now we don't have that details. Okay, so if you're someone that you want to move into the UK with global talent, if you have not put in your application yet, or you're planning for later, don't feel sad. I believe that there will be like an update, and once we have that update, I'll let you guys know as well. Okay, and then finally, what I want to talk about is there is a new more like guideline that has been passed for employers to abide with. So basically what they've realized is that they've seen that, especially with people with 0 hours, that the way they work favors the employer the most, right? So if you're someone that works 0 hours, and you can just basically get called, and your employer would expect you to just make that job. But this new guideline is just saying that they expect employers to be more lenient, and they should work more with hours of their employee, so that there can be like a work-life balance. This country is very, very big on you spending family and all of those things. So this is why they've put this rule in place. And of course, I'm sure that people will want to comply. When I mean people, I mean employers, because they don't want cases against them and all of that. So they would expect that you work with your employees, and you work with their hours, and you don't just call them or give them whatever shift that you want to give them, to be more reasonable basically. And I think that's a good thing, to be honest. And yeah, these are some of the updates that is currently out there on the government website, and all the links that you need would be in the description box. Okay, and we are seeing, like I said, we are seeing positive updates, and we hope that it keeps being positive. And if you're someone that you're planning to come into the UK as a student, and you're wondering, you've been hearing different kind of rumors, nothing is certain yet. Do not let that stop you from making your plans. Keep at what you're doing, and we all hope that we have positive outcome from all the things that we are hearing. Okay, so this is my update for you guys today, and I hope that this video helps someone out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.